This week on Archery 101, we're up to episode 3 on how to market your archery event. Hey everybody, and welcome to Archery 101. Welcome to episode 3. Alright, we're up to the third one. If you haven't seen the first two, I highly suggest you go back and watch them, because these are put in order to help you learn how to market. I'm trying to do them in small bite sizes so you can take it, absorb it, and apply it. So in the first two episodes, we talked about what is marketing and why it's important. In the second one, we talked about your unique selling point and how to craft it. This week, we're going to talk about when do you actually start your marketing. Now, this is going to be really a fast video, but it's very, very important stuff. So make sure you take plenty of notes. What many people miss out is the concept that marketing starts from the very beginning, deciding to hold an event. Alright, so you decide to hold an archery event, right? Now I'll say this, most places just choose a date, time, money, boom. Maybe put it on their calendar and they're done with it, right? That's it, and they ask for volunteers. That, my friends, is not how you run a good archery event, right? The successful event starts with good, solid research, planning, and marketing. So the first thing you need to do when you decide to have an archery event is you have to decide what type of shoot it's going to be. So why is that important? Because having a theme or type will help set you apart, which is vital. And that's also called that's right, your unique selling point. So how do you decide what type of shoot you're going to hold? That's simple. Remember, we got an ideal for a shoot. You're going to have an ideal of the month. So around what month you're going to hold it, that can play a part in what type of shoot. You know, we got 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. If you're holding it in the winter, well, pretty much going to be a cabin fever shoot, most likely, or maybe an indoor shoot or something like that. But that can play into it. If you're going to have one near the end of summer, getting ready for the hunting season, there's your theme, right? Getting ready for hunting. Same thing for like spring, getting ready for the competition season. So the time of year that you want to hold it can play a part in it. Now, another thing you can do is if you got a big shoot coming up, you know, like some big organizations having some big competition, you can hold yours before it and use it as a tune-up for that. And that's how you market it. So this is going to be a competition shoot because this one is. So it's a competition shoot getting ready for this. Now we got our theme. It's a competition shoot. All right. Some other things that can help determine what type of shoot you should hold is the course setup, right? The terrain in your course, and what's popular in your area. If you're in a heavy hunter area and you hold a target shoot, I don't know how much of a turnout you're going to get because, you know, they're hunters, not target archers. So make sure you know your area and you hold events that's popular in your area. All right, a word about types. Now, we just talked about the hunters and targets. Well, I'm going to use traditional archery as an example. If your club decides to hold a traditional only shoot, I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't expect a large turnout. And that's what we were talking about earlier. You got to know your market. So, according to the ATA, 75% of all archers use a compound bow. 18% use a crossbow. So that leaves 7% of the archers out there are dedicated traditional archers. Now, they also say about 3 to 5% of the compound and crossbow users also do trad. So we're looking at 10 to 12% max, right? We're going to use 10% just because it's easier in my feeble little brain. So think about it. You're going to hold a traditional only shoot. There's 100 people that do archery. Out of that 100, only 10 of them are traditional archers. You're not going to draw all 10. You're not going to get 100%. You might only get 15 to 20% return. So out of a possible 100 people, you might only get 1 or 2. So the moral of the story here is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to do something for a small market, expect a small turnout. All right, we know what type of event we want to hold. So now it's time to choose the date, right, Greg? No. Now that you know what type, your next step is to name the event. What? A name? It's an archery event, doesn't need a name. Oh, contraire, right? Let me put it this way. In your area, how many shoots are there each weekend? In my area where I live, every weekend I have between 10 and 15 3D archery shoots. All right? And I'm telling you right now, you know what they all are? Just 3D archery shoots. They don't give a name, they don't have anything special. So how do you choose which one to go to? Well, I'll tell you this right now. The vast majority of people will go to the closest one. Why? Well, what's the difference between an archery event held here and an archery event held here? Nothing. They're just 3D archery events. All right? So having a name is going to catch the eye better. And what I mean by that, if you go to 3dshoots.com, you type it in, what you're going to see is blah, 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 3D, club name, club name. If you put in there Hunter's Challenge, I bet you that'll catch their eye faster than everything else, right? We want to be different. We want to stand out from the crowd, and giving your event a name would do that for you. Now, people tend to remember names, right? Because if it's a good event, they're not going to say, I'm going to guarantee you people are not going to do this. I went to the March 3D archery shoot at Bob's Archery course, and man, it was awesome. They're going to, oh yeah, I went to this course once, yeah, Bob's, it was really cool. Right? They'll have no clue about it. They just remember it was a cool course. But if you tell them it's the Hunter's Challenge, they're going to, oh man, I went to the Hunter's Challenge. Yeah, it was held at a Bob's Archery course. It was awesome. Now, being a Hunter's Challenge pretty much tells you a rough time of year it's going to be in, but they remembered the name. They remembered the event better. So we want to make it special, and we want to make it memorable. We have to give it a name. All right, we got a type and we got a name. Now you can choose your date. Now, you know, when we first started, if you're going to do a Hunter's Challenge, you know it's going to be right before hunting season. So you know when that's going to be. So we have a general idea. So I'm not saying you can't have some idea of a date. But now you're going to choose a specific date. Now I'm going to say this. The right date will help. The wrong date is going to hurt. What do I mean? If you decide to hold an archery event on Super Bowl Sunday, yeah, good luck with a high turnout, right? Pick a good date. So what you got to do before you pick your date is you want to check out all the things that are going on. You want to check it out on a local, regional, state, and national level, right? You'd want to avoid conflicts. You want to avoid going up against a big event, against big competition that you're not going to win against. If you remember in the first video we talked about Bob, right, and how he had all these things pulling on him for his time and money. Well, that's what picking a date would do. If you're going to pick one that has all the events going on, they're all going to be fighting you for your time and money. But if you pick the right date with less events, you can have less things fighting for your time and money, and you have a higher chance of having a successful event. All right? So that's why we do it. By choosing the right date, we're going to limit our competition. All right, we got type, name, date. Now you get to select your time. You know, and a lot of clubs do basic things with time, and I'm not going to argue about this. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot. I'm just going to say this. Smaller time window narrows the possible numbers. Okay? You guys got more experience with it than me, but I'm telling you from my experience, I would go to shoots held throughout the whole day. That's all I'll say. I don't know about everybody else. I'm going to relate one story to you about it, though. I went on 3dshoots.com. I looked up this archery shoot, and I seen it, and they said, we have a Bigfoot target. Come shoot Bigfoot. Man, that was a great USP. So me and my wife jumped in the car and we went to it. Said their shoot was from 7:30 to 11:30. Now most of them means the last person goes out at 11:30. That's what I took it to mean. So me and my wife arrived at like 9:30. We finished right before 11:30. We did the course. The last target was Bigfoot. We're walking over to shoot it, and this lady comes over. Stop it! Stop it! Shut it down! Shut it down! No one else can shoot! I'm like, what? Because it's 11:30. We close at 11:30. So, needless to say, I didn't get to shoot Bigfoot. I was not happy. I chose them for that whole reason. Drove all the way down there, and still didn't get to do it. Guess where I didn't go back to? Alright? That's about time. Make sure your times are known. Last shooter leaves at this time. First shooter at this time. Last shooter leaves at this time. Proper marketing, clear communication is very important. Cost is part of marketing too. I'm going to say this to you. And this is a rough one because everybody stuff. I don't want to hear it. Charge what you're worth, not what you think people are willing to pay. You know what? I love 3D archery, and I love that you guys only charge $10, $12, $15. That is great. I would be more than willing to pay 20 bucks. All right? I don't think 20 bucks for one individual is too much to ask for an hour and a half to 2 hours of course time and 30 targets. It's a great deal. Now I know one club that charges 20. What they do is they throw in a free hamburger. You don't have to do that, but charge what you're worth. Right? Don't undersell yourself. Trust me, you do better by charging the right amount. Alright, so we got it all set up. We got the type, we got a name, we got a date, we got the time, we got the cost. Now the last thing I highly suggest you do is, if you can, you're going to schedule that named event the same time each year. Alright? First annual, second annual, third annual helps build uniqueness and brand recognition. Alright? That's a different subject, but it's very important. So if you're doing this every year at the same time, the Hunter's Challenge, people will know about it. People will talk about it, they'll write it down on their calendars, and they can expect it. So having the same event every year is a big boost to your marketing. Alright everybody, that was the first step. Remember in the first video we said marketing was a process and you can't leave out steps. Well, today was one of those steps. Alright? You gotta market from the very beginning. Alright, hopefully you're starting to see how marketing is more than just telling people what you're holding and what you're doing. Alright? It's about informing them about your event, crafting an image. That image is all important. And that's what marketing is about. We made an image, we're putting it out to the people. That image is calling out to a very specific group of people that, hey, look what we got for you. Well, look what we can do for you. We're going to get you ready for hunting season. Or we're going to get you ready for that big archery event. That's what people are looking for. Alright? Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Episode 3 is now in the books. Next week, Episode 4, we're going to cover the big 3. This is where we're going to start showing you how to market, where you have to market. Alright? Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week with an all-new episode of Archery 101.